So this is the ESRC Impact of the Newton Fund event, a two-day conference where we're bringing together all of our lead researchers working on Newton Fund funded projects that are done in collaboration with a lot of our in-country partners.
The Newton Fund is a £735 million programme of investment, developing research and innovation partnerships with a series of partner countries. Part of the purpose of this event is actually helping the researchers to articulate their own narratives around why the research they're doing is valuable. We have people from China, Brazil, South Africa.
I was invited in 2015 for an event like this in London. We met and we started to talk. Now we're here, finished the second year of the research.
The projects that we're funding are having a real impact in developing countries around the world.
The Newton Fund allows us to speak and to ask questions that might be difficult to ask if you were just working with the local funders, with the national funders.
And to be taking away from that a better understanding of the types of impact that can arise, how we can identify and capture that breadth of impact, societal impact, economic impact, as well as the traditional academic impact.
It's in itself a transformative approach to the way academics are engaging with the topics locally and internationally. And that doesn't happen without this sort of money and this sort of infrastructure.
Well, we're working in Mexico. There is a crisis of security and there's a crisis of violence. And our methodology is trying to say we need the voices of the people who live this.
Our project is focused on antimicrobial resistance with a partner in Anhui province of China, and we're focusing on rural communities and the lower levels of the healthcare system.
So we want to capture the lived realities of people learning mutually what kind of knowledge would best transform realities.
We've been working on a Newton Fund project for a year and a half now to do with kidnapping in Mexico. It's all about helping victims and activists. Being able to talk with people who are dealing with other big challenges has helped us a lot today.
We're not only sharing across disciplines, we're also sharing across countries and cultures. And I think it was a very intelligent way to organise an event, was to make sure that that started off with the relationship building.
It was not just the content, but actually the structure of the event and the activities that did that actually gave me a lot of lessons about impact.
It's a fantastic opportunity to identify specific issues cross-culturally that you can address within funded research.
We're trying to build languages between researchers and the incentive structures they might have in one country and the incentive structures they might have in my country. This is our real practical world.
The discussions around the table have led somebody to understand the emerging areas of research and what they are planning to.
And just listening to the conversation, I started to develop this idea of doing a bit of training with South African planners, actually doing the activities, gave me many ideas about how to actually do that.
In a way, it's also refreshing that this is more activity-oriented. Yeah. That's the interesting bit for me, that it's more practice-oriented.
So they have this unconferencing activities which allow participants on the first day to set the agenda for the second day. And there's been plenty of time for very informal networking during the first day.
You know, I talk to people from Vietnam, China, and I don't very often meet with people from those parts of the world. And we had a very relaxed process of exchange, recognising all the difficulties in the road that we have to acknowledge and have to start addressing.
The problem is, I think, with research is it's almost become too pure, too focused on problems, not focused on solutions, which, to be frank, is the main focus of social science research at the moment. So with the change in focus towards solutions, I think we'll be able to have a significant impact.
Everybody hopes that their research is going to change something.
Making a difference to people who are not in the academic community, who are influenced by the work that you do in different ways. It may be just changing the way they understand a problem.
We have a workshop and people leave that meeting having learned a strategy to deal with risk from another person there that they didn't know. Then that's a real impact, but it's not something that's easily measurable.
So that the exchange of knowledge also constructs a kind of confidence that actually we are prepared to go to the areas where problems are the deepest, that we're prepared to accompany these processes.
So there are some kind of interesting and very heartening forms of impact that are just happening and make us rethink perhaps how we would like to utilise the findings to change practice over time.